Hi, welcome back to another podcast. We're in my kitchen this morning. I'm in the middle of making bread. I'm here to answer a few questions. Just to make things clear, I've opened 10 restaurants here in Taiwan. Uh, some did great, some did less great, and people are asking me questions. Aren't you scared to lose all your money? Or how's the level of stress while opening a new place? Um, I go about things a little bit differently than other people because for me to alleviate the stress of the financial stress of opening a restaurant, what I usually do is whatever money I put in my restaurant, I consider that money already lost. So then I don't need to think about making that money back. I know I have a, you know, I other people do it another way around. They go like, well, got to give myself a salary. I got to recoup my money. For me, I don't think like this. I never think in recuperating my money. The money I put inside a restaurant is that money I had to lose. When it was my first restaurant, it was all my money and I was ready to lose it. I didn't look back. I didn't have like a plan B or anything like that. Then people ask me, when do you think you're going to recoup your money? I don't know. I said, I don't think about these things. If you think about these things, you're putting pressure on yourself. The same thing, you're giving yourself a salary. I don't give myself a salary. Even now with all my businesses going at the same time and being pretty successful, I still don't know how much money I have in my bank account. I don't look at that because what happens is that if you're stressed with money, you start making decisions based on money, and when you make decisions based on money, you're not making decisions in the best interest of growing your business. If you start cutting corners because you're running out of money or you need to make more profit, you see, this is the thing when you have a business partner, right? They want to see profits. They don't care about growing the business. They don't care about taking the time to do it right. They just want to see their money back, so they're putting stress on you. And then you have to cut corners to get some money, to give it back to them, to shut them up because it is what it is. So to go back to the point, you start making decisions that are not based in the best interest of your restaurant, but is based in the best interest of making money fast. And the restaurant business is not a get-rich-fast business. It takes time. In the previous video, we looked at this. It takes 3 to 6 months to build a customer base. You need cash flow to roll because you're going to lose that money. You're going to lose money in that time. You're not going to make money the first 5-6 months, unless you're very, very lucky. But that's the thing that you need to think about. You need to plan long term. If you begin your restaurant and then in the first, let's just use a number. I'm giving myself a $2,000 salary every month. I need to get paid for my work. Well, then this is money you could use somewhere else to grow your business and your restaurant. When you open your restaurant, I'll talk for myself. I already planned my living expenses before I open a restaurant, so I know not to touch that money and not to look at it. You will have a number in your bank account to roll for your first 6 months, if you do it smartly, of course. And that money should only go towards your restaurant. It shouldn't go towards you. It shouldn't go towards your investors. It shouldn't go towards paying back the loan that you took in the bank. That 6 months should already be inside your loan that you took in the bank, so you don't have to touch it. It should be accounted for. Making menu decision based on money. Your menu should be set before you open your restaurant, and then you do tweaks. You don't do radical changes in the middle of opening your restaurant the first 6 months. You're trying to get people inside your restaurant to get used to your style, your food, and what you're doing. If you're making drastic change and cuts, or you're changing what you're doing, for example, if you open a steakhouse and your steakhouse is Wagyu beef, Kobe beef, and Angus prime, and then in the middle, because you're trying to save money, or you have to answer to an investor, or you didn't plan right, then you change your meat to Angus choice. Well, then your customer is like, well, this is not why we're here. We came here for the Kobe beef. So basically you will alienate your customer base, which is the first nail in your coffin, right? The same thing, if you put bottles of Coke on a table and then you put cans of Coke on the table to save, let's say 5 cents, then your customer is going to be like, well, what's going on here? Like this. So you need a lot of consistency, and consistency costs money. There's no way around it. Some people think that, You just put stuff on the table and then people are going to accept it. Well, you're wrong, right? People come to see me, right? When I open a new restaurant, people come to see me. They know me, they know what I do, they know my quality, they know my standard. If let's say I open a hot dog restaurant, they would expect to be this level of a hot dog restaurant, right? And then if I just give them like a street crap, then they go like, well, I can have street crap somewhere else. Why? They follow me because they know my style, they know what I provide, they know the quality I will give them. So that's that. So again, making decisions with money. When I change an item on my menu, right, I think about it for weeks, right? I talk to my customer. I am in a dining room, right? I talk to everyone in my restaurant. I don't shy away from having an honest conversation, right? I don't take what they're saying to 100% face value because everybody's taste buds are different and taste is subjective, right? But I talk to people and then I see what's up and then I bring a new menu. I'll introduce a new item to my menu and then we'll see what people think about it. Will it go permanently on the menu? Will it just be like a weekly special? Well, this is why you have weekly specials to run tests. So you can't alter your menu based, well, I don't have any more money for caviar this week and your menu is caviar, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. So like I mentioned in a previous video, you have to plan for months ahead money-wise. You cannot just go, well, I mean, if 3 out of 4 restaurants go bankrupt in the first year, right? There's a reason for this thing, right? There's incompetency, right? There's money problem, right? There's a lack of experience, yeah. And then there are people who it's just not what they should do in life, right? And they had a dream and the dream, it's not for them, right? It's like me. I can't be an NBA player, I have a dream, yeah, I'll go play basketball, but it's not for me, right? You gotta be realistic. We all have limitations, and some of my limitations, I can't be a basketball player in the NBA, right? I accept that. Anyway, I hate basketball. So, yeah, like I was saying, like most of the closures is because people don't make good decisions. They make decisions based on money. I'll give you an example. This week, my landlord asked me for a 20% raise increase. I've been here for 5 years, and he never raised me. And then 20%, right? Well, it's a lot of money because it's an expensive rent here. I'm downtown, and I prepared for that raise 2 years ago. Usually, after 2-3 years, they ask you for a raise, but he hasn't asked for it yet. So when he asked me for 20, I knew I was going to settle for around 12, which we did. But I already had all this money saved up in the back because I actually planned for the raise to come at one point. I didn't just go like one day like, oh, what's going on? Oh, there's a raise. What are we going to do? And then there's no panic in this. When COVID hit Taiwan, right, there was a slowdown. We didn't shut down here, but there was a slowdown, right? Maybe 60% of my business stopped coming for the first month because everybody was scared. But I already planned for this, right? This is one of the reasons why I don't know how much money is in my bank account, because I don't want to give myself permission to use that money and say, well, let's go buy a jet ski. Well, I do have a jet ski, but it's not the point. The point is like, well, I can afford a Ferrari now. I had a Porsche before. I didn't buy a new one because I'm fiscally responsible. And all these things, if you look at how much cash you have on a daily base or how much cash you don't have on a daily base, you're going to want to shoot yourself in the head because it is already so difficult to run a business, right? We're in the middle of Chinese New Year. I'm going to have 250 customers today. Mind you, my restaurant sits about 40 people, so we're going to pack this place up 5 or 6 times today. And sits 40 people, but that's 4 people at a table. If only 2 people at a table, and that's a lot of tables. So I have enough stress of my day. I'm understaffed. It's hard to find people. Then if I start to think about money and this money is this money is that, this money is this, then you become immobilized, right? You become like, well, instead of taking care of your customer, doing good PR with them, working on new dish, preparing stuff, then you're just like, well, these paper bags for takeout are too expensive. They're $0.01 a piece, but if I buy there, I can save 1/4 cent. Yeah, fair enough if you buy 1,000,000 bags, but if you're a small restaurant and you give maybe 100 bags a day, it's not really the most important. The same, you try to look for cheaper suppliers, which is great. You always should look for new suppliers, but if you're focused on making money in your restaurant and because one of your suppliers or one paper bag is too expensive, then you're doing things wrong. Your menu is built wrong. Your business plan is built wrong. So it's a thing to think about. Again, put your stack, your investment stack in the bank, right? Be ready for the next at least 4 to 6 months in front of you. And then the only thing that should go in there is money out to your suppliers and money in from your customers. You should not be interfering in that money. You shouldn't take any money from there. You shouldn't buy new equipment because you have a new idea. Oh, we're gonna make the tostados. We need a roast. We're gonna make something. We need a new rotisserie. It costs $4,000. Or we need a new oven. This one's not good enough, right? These are decisions you make once you recoup your money. The improvements in your restaurant. This is not where you're at right now. Where you're at is trying to stay alive and fight another week, fight another month, and get to that point where you cross over to, all right, now we can work on something else, right? You're just trying to not close, basically. So anyway, this is my word of advice for you today. If you have any other questions, you can ask me in the comment section, and I'll make sure to answer some of them when I got time. I'm really busy right now. So have a good day, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.